Hey folks, today we're going to be looking at something I scored on eBay for about $25. I placed the first bid on it and I happened to win it. So let's check it out. Here's the unit itself. A very, very generic looking KVM switch. Now the nice part about this KVM switch is it's exactly what I was looking for to swap monitor, keyboard, and mouse. Well, monitor and keyboard just only for my particular instance. But it's perfect for what I need because it has DVI and it has PS2. Unlike a lot of the other ones I saw that were DVI and USB. I could use that with other keyboards that I have. With the current keyboard I'm using now, that's not what I'd prefer to use. As you can see, there's no real name brand anywhere on it. It's just a generic looking DVI PS2 KVM switch. You get PC1 and PC2 buttons there. It's 2-port. It says with audio on it. It's built extremely well. It's nice thick metal all around, even on the bottom. This is the only clue as to any information about it. It's Taiwanese, so this is of Taiwanese origin. It's very good quality too. And here's the back of it. Here's the I/O you get. You get your power source. You get the audio cables here. This is where you plug in your monitor, mouse, and keyboard. And here's where you plug your two computers in, PC2, PC1. Has everything there but the audio. For $25, I hope this thing works because that's the perfect price I'd like to pay for one of these and have it working. Now, the interesting thing about this is it looks like it's very easy to take the cover off, so maybe we should take the cover off and take a look at the quality. And all the screws have been taken out. I took out about 8 screws just for the top cover there. So let's actually take a look inside. Aha, here we are. Doesn't look too bad at all, actually. Taking a look at it, and there's a few electrolytics here. What that ribbon cable's for. Oh, this ribbon cable connects both of the boards together, as you can maybe see there. Aha! I see a piezo beeper down there. I believe what my theory is when you switch between PCs, it'll beep. Yeah, but yeah, there's a little piezo beeper in there, so that solves that mystery. There's a few electrolytics up top there. There are some relays in here, which I bet are switched on and off when you hit these two buttons. So, very simplistic design, which is a good thing in my opinion. I like simplistic design. I don't know what that is down there in the middle. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a right down in there, there's a thing. I don't know if that's a transformer or a chip or what. It's a little bit difficult to see. But yeah, this is the inside of this KVM switch. It's very simplistic in here. It has some surface mount components and circuitry, but, you know, other than that, pretty simplistic, and I like that. There's a program report right there in case you want to reprogram the KVM switch. I don't know what this header does. Not a clue. My guess is they might, let's say you had 4 ports, maybe you could add something with that header there. That's just a theory. I don't have any idea, but, you know, there you have it. Yeah, that's the inside of this KVM switch. Doesn't look badly built at all. It just looks very generic. So I'm going to put the cover back on, and I'm going to show you the cables. Alright, the cover's back on. Now that we've familiarized ourselves with the unit, let's take a look at the cables. Or at least the ends of them, while taking a look at the back of the unit. Has, of course, the DVI connector, and the 2 PS2 connectors for keyboard and mouse. So, pretty simple stuff. The whole pinout is there, too. Now, on the other end of each cable, I have 2 cables with this particular machine. You get the same array as where the beginning is. You get the DVI cable and the two PS2 mouse and keyboard connectors, but hanging off of the PS2 mouse port and keyboard connectors are the audio cables, microphone, and speaker, which is interesting. My guess is maybe when you connect these to your computer and they're hanging off these ports, maybe there are some extra pins or something in the connectors on the other side. That's just a theory. I don't know how that works, because I haven't looked at the manual provided on the very generic looking CD yet, and I haven't actually tried the device out yet, so we'll see how it works. So I think it's time to go plug this into both of my machines and give this a try. Here's the very generic, suspicious looking CD, by the way. I should probably open this on a Linux machine, just because this is generic, man, and the CD is pretty scuffed up anyway. Look, it barely used any of the CD to fill up the space. That's hilarious. Here's the AC adapter that came with the unit. It's just a very generic AC to DC adapter. 9 volts DC output, 1 amp output. There you go. So, I say we go plug this in and give it a shot. One thing I just noticed about these DVI connectors is they have the pins to be converted to VGA. So this could possibly be a VGA KVM switch, assuming the circuitry inside understands that. But yeah, it has the extra pins for the analog stuff, which I think is really cool. Not that I'm going to use that, but just making note that that might be possible. Okay, I have the KVM switch all set up, and I can confirm how this works. I tested it before I started this video here, and it does indeed route the audio through the PS2 cables. I guess it uses extra pins. Voodoo magic. But yeah, it routes the audio. I didn't think it would, just based on the inputs that were there. I would have thought that it would not have combined them into the PS2 port. That's awesome. Now, it occurs to me that I haven't really explained a KVM switch for those that aren't familiar with it. Now, if you look below the KVM switch, here we have an audio amplifier that I use for my main computer here. My whole computer system here. There's something over here called a source selector. This lets you switch inputs, audio inputs, so you can listen to whatever's plugged into this input, whatever's plugged into that input, or whatever's plugged into the phono input. These two are line level inputs. This one's the phono level input. I have the KVM switch plugged into CD/tape. That has a source selector for what audio source you want to listen to. A KVM switch is exactly the same thing, only apply this concept from audio to computer peripherals, so keyboard, mouse, monitor. Although in this case, I am not plugging the mouse into the KVM switch. It is only the keyboard and the monitor that I have plugged in. I have two separate mice. Which might change in the future, I don't know. But these mice tend to work best with USB, so I've kept them separate. You can hear the relays click and the little piezo speaker I pointed out beep in there every time you select an input. And these flash until you have an input going. So let me turn my main computer on down over here, and you'll see the light will go steady when it detects a signal. I'll also turn the amplifier on. And as you can see, it works. KVM works absolutely fine. The guy on eBay said he used this for a little while, but he needed more inputs, so he upgraded to a different KVM. So this KVM wasn't used a whole lot, which is nice. It's pretty low hours on it, so I like that a lot. Yeah, as you can see, Windows 8.1 is booting up just fine, and yeah, KVM switch works great. Now what I'm also going to do is turn on the secondary machine down here, that one, and both machines. I'll switch between both of the machines to just prove what just to demonstrate it for the sake of demonstration. So I have a desktop here. As you'll be able to hear in a minute, the sound does work. That's through the PS2 cables. Now let me switch to PC2. That's what I'll hit this button. Oh, and it's telling me I need to restart my computer. This is the secondary machine, which has the same background, but it's running Windows 7 rather than Windows 8. So, there you go. I can swap between these two computers very quickly, very efficiently, which really helps me out a lot, because that way I can be doing one thing on one computer and switch to it very quickly without having to worry about it. There you go. It's basically a source selector for a computer, and it can be very useful if you have a bunch of machines hooked up on one desk. It really saves cable. It really saves a lot of space, so you don't have to have like 10 monitors on the same desk with 10 computers or whatever. I plan to get a 4-way KVM switch for my vintage machines over here. That's going to be VGA in PS2 rather than DVI in PS2, so because obviously it's for older machines. And I'll hook that up to the VGA section of this Envision monitor. That way I don't have to have a monitor on top of here, and I can use all the peripherals I normally use down here. Which means I'll have to add a third mouse. Jeez. But yeah. This is how my setup will be. This KVM switch. Just thought I'd show you guys this KVM switch. It's one I got for really cheap, so, you know, I didn't expect it to do a whole lot, but it doesn't need to do a whole lot. It's just a source selector. So let me shut off the secondary machine because I don't need it. And then switch back to the first machine. And there you have it. That is this very generic KVM switch. It works great. Routes the audio and everything. So I, in a sense, have more inputs open on my little amplifier there, which is really nice. So, KVM switches aren't that special. They're something I figure I'd take a look at. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. And have a good one, everybody. Ciao.